On the night of April 19, 1989, as the New York sky was darkening, Tricia Maley, an investment banker, walked into Central Park as usual for a jog. But this time, she never returned. Maley was raped and brutally beaten. She was found the next morning in critical condition. Her skull was fractured, she had lost her memory, and she had little chance of survival. The whole city was in a panic. The media called it the most brutal crime of the decade. Hours later, police arrested a number of Black and Latino teenagers who had been in the park that night. 5 of them, aged 14 to 16, were taken into custody for questioning. Kevin Richardson, Antron McCray, Raymond Santana, Yusef Salaam, and Corey Wise. There was no DNA evidence, no independent witnesses, and yet the police decided they were the culprits. The teenagers were interrogated for hours without their parents or lawyers present. They were divided, threatened, and offered to go home if they told the police what they wanted. The police pressed them to follow a script. The boys were tired, scared, and didn't understand their rights. After hours, they began to confess, each telling a different contradictory story. But the police didn't care. They had the confession, the video, and the so-called truth. The media quickly turned the teens into monsters. The term wilding was used in the papers, a reference to mass rioting. They were called wolf packs. Newspapers splashed mugshots of them as if they were murderers, calling for the death penalty. Public anger reached a fever pitch. No one cared about the conflicting confessions or the lack of evidence linking them to the crime scene. In the 1990 trial, the confession was the main piece of evidence. There was no DNA match, no eyewitnesses, but the contradictory testimony was still accepted. The defense attorney made it clear, this is a case based on emotions, not facts. The jury was heavily influenced by the media. They found all 5 teenagers guilty. None of them received justice. Antron, Kevin, and Raymond received sentences of 5 to 10 years. Yusef and Corey received longer sentences. Corey Wise, who was 16, was held in an adult prison. Teenagers enter prison and leave as broken men. They are abused, isolated, and labeled rapists. The most despicable crime in prison. Corey Wise was repeatedly held in solitary confinement, brutally beaten, and lived in fear for 13 years. The other 4 were released after serving 5 to 7 years in prison. When they were released, they were not clear of their sentences and had no chance of reintegrating into society. In 2002, Corey Wise ran into Matias Reyes in prison, a man convicted of multiple rapes. Reyes later confessed to raping Tricia Maley. His DNA matched a sample from 1989. Reyes said he acted alone. There was no Central Park 5. There were no accomplices. There was no wolf pack. The prosecutor's office reinvestigated the case and confirmed that Reyes was telling the truth. All 5 convictions were overturned in late 2002. Though exonerated, the damage remains. The 5 men carry emotional and social scars that will not be easily erased. Their records include rape. No one has forgotten that. In 2014, New York City agreed to pay $41 million to 5 people, an average of $1 million for each year of wrongful incarceration. But they said, no amount of money can bring back a lost childhood. Today, they are known as the Exonerated 5. They are emblematic of what is wrong with the American justice system, where racial bias, media, and public pressure can ruin lives. The documentary When They See Us, directed by Ava DuVernay, brought this story to millions. It's not just a case of wrongful conviction. It's a wake-up call about justice, about juvenile rights, and about truth.